All right, so I am excited. This is our last night of the boot camp, you guys. You have made it all 8 weeks. If you are listening tonight, you might have listened to some of them. Maybe you've missed a few, but I would definitely encourage you to get on our website, justinandhilarycourtney.com. You can click on the boot camp tab, and all 8 weeks of boot camp calls with Kathy Coover and just all the different amazing trainers are going to be on there for you guys to be able to access. So like I said, this is our last week, and tonight I am going to be sharing with you guys about our compensation plan, which is super exciting. I feel like it's the best product we have in our whole lineup with Isagenix. And I know that tomorrow Kathy Hoover is going to be doing a big push for the raspberry cheesecake shake. If you have not got your hands on it yet, we ordered a bunch more of this. If you have not made the protein balls we showed in the recipe, you should make them. We have friends that don't have Isagenix, and so we had a lady message me over the weekend, and she said, I bought an off-the-counter protein and tried to make the raspberry protein balls, and she said they tasted like what we used to feed our bottle calves. She said it was so terrible, and she's like, I need your shakes. So she ordered a raspberry cheesecake shake this morning. So talk to everybody you know. The shakes are amazing. The new bars are amazing. I also want to kind of give you guys, I'm like knocking things over here. I also want to give you guys a heads up. The company promotion that they're going to launch in January at New Year's kickoff, you guys, is like out of this world amazing, like amazing. And so if you have 15 enrollments between September 15th and the end of the year, then you're going to get a huge advantage when they announce the promotion in January. So not like a little advantage. Like I was like, okay, come on. Like what? Like a huge advantage, huge. So don't not get your 15 enrollments between September 15th and the end of the year, the 31st of December. Get those enrollments. You're going to be so grateful you did it New Year's kickoff when they announced the promotion, and what a huge advantage you have because you got those 15 enrollments. And guys, this time of the year, people always say to me like, oh, it's December. It's like a hard month. That is like something that people say and then it just kind of spreads. That's not true. We always have our best months in December because in November and December, we're talking to people about being fit through the holidays, about not waiting till January 1, about getting ahead, an advantage, like already getting out of the gate healthy for the new year. We're also talking to people about if someone says to me, oh my gosh, I still don't have the money right now because of Christmas. I'm like, oh my goodness, that's why you should be doing it. Like, do you understand? Like just this week, you guys, we're running a promotion with some of the people on our team. And if they have 2 value packs, they're getting 2 value packs, they're getting $100 in cash. This is a bonus that we're doing. And you guys, 2 value packs is $400 in cash. You could work part-time 20 hours a week for $12 an hour and not make that much money that you could make just from 2 value packs. And so, when people tell me they need money this time of the year, then I tell them that's why they need Isagenix. If people, are talking about, oh, wait until January 1, I'm like, why would you do that? Like, when people gain the most weight from now till the end of the year, then they do all year long. So instead of doing that, at least maintain where you are. You don't have to lose right now, but maintain. Don't get behind. So, don't let people use all those excuses this time of the year. It's a great time to grow your business. And I'm just letting people know that January, there's a huge, huge thing coming. And so I'm getting them on board now. And we're super excited about it and everything the company has going on. There's another seasonal shake being released in November, which is going to be phenomenal. We kind of preluded to that on the call that we did. And so, just keep sharing, keep growing through the holidays. Don't let what month it is make a difference. It really doesn't matter. Like we have huge Decembers because we continue to share and continue to prospect. And just before the call started, I was messaging a few people back on my phone, if you guys could see what I was doing. And I was just following up with 2 more prospects that we're talking to. And so it just always reaching out. And, another lady I messaged this afternoon hasn't responded at all. I don't care if she hasn't responded. Like I just keep talking to the next person. And that's what you have to do because there's no way we're not going to have 15 enrollments by December 31st. And that's what you guys should be your goal minimum to have those. It's just 5 a month between now and the end of the year. You will be thankful in January that you did. So I'm super excited to share with you guys the compensation plan. Most of you, I think all of you probably know who I am, but I'm Hilari Courtney. We host this call, Reed and I have been hosting this call for the past 8 weeks. Super excited to share with you guys about the comp plan, just because I feel like a lot of the times it's kind of our forgotten about product. People talk about, oh my gosh, our shakes are amazing, and they are, and our ionics and our vitamin packs. And a lady said to me today, oh, I heard about your anti-aging solutions, and she was so excited about that. And I said, that's awesome. Has anybody ever shared with you about our, our freedom package? And she's like, well, what do you mean? What's the freedom? What's the freedom product? And I'm like, well, if it's people want their health freedom, that's what we help them with. If people want time freedom, that's what we help them with. If people want financial freedom, that's what we help them with. So it's really, you choose where you feel like there's a gap in your life, and I'm going to help you close that gap. And she was like, oh, and like no one had ever talked to her that way, you guys. And it's just simply how you're saying it. And so I'm super pumped because at New Year's kickoff this year, I get to share the compensation plan, and I am excited to talk to people about going to executive, not like manager. You guys, manager, you do not have a business if you're a manager. You don't have a business if you're a director. I mean, I want you to think about it. Even as an executive, that's 30 people. And if you owned a storefront and you only had 30 customers a year, you wouldn't have a business. You'd have a hobby. And so, I mean, I just encourage all of you who are on here to share this and to treat this like a business, because where else can you go and put in the hours that you want to put in during the day? Like I had a sick little one at home today. So I got up early and did some, computer work before he got up. And then I made some calls and did some Facebook Lives. And on a couple of them, he crawled up on my back when I did it, but it doesn't matter. It got done. And then I put in a couple of people's orders, and then we ran over and looked at our new house and measured for new furniture. I'm super excited. And then on our farm, you can come see us on our farm. If you cannot tell, I'm a little excited about that. You guys, like, financial freedom is so fun, and it's not about the money, it's about the choices that it gives you. That, Justin loves to hunt and he loves being outdoors, and this property came up for sale, and in 3 days we went and looked at it, made an offer, and bought it in 3 days while we still own our house. And I'm telling you that because that's what freedom can allow you to do. It can, when people come to our church, for me, that's a big deal. I just write checks. I don't have to think about like, oh, can we allot that much money? No, we just do what we want to do, and it's so awesome. And you can help people do the same thing. And I spoke with a woman this last week, you guys, has this incredible corporate career. I mean, she's at the top of her game. Like, she is the GM. She's like the deal at her job. And she has 3 little boys. And I said to her, if you could get up tomorrow and have your ideal day. And I met her at 9 o'clock at night for an op meeting, because that was the first time she could meet, 9 p.m. And so I met her at her house, and I said, if you could get up tomorrow and have your ideal day, what would it look like? And she's like, I'd sleep in. And this is like the head of this company. I'm like, really? And she's like, I'd sleep in, and then I'd go for a walk because I'm jealous of everybody who's out walking during the day. She said, and then I would just want to spend 1 hour with my sons. And that for me was really hard to swallow, because I'm like, here she is, like the most successful one in her whole company. You would never look at her and think that. And she said, I just want 1 hour with my boys, 1 hour. And I was just like I told Justin, I'm like, I'm going to help her have freedom. Like I'm so fired up. I mean, her boys are the same age as my kids. And it's like, I just can't imagine that. And so like, that's what, if you understand what our company has to offer, that's how excited you should be about the compensation plan. Like, I can't not talk to people about it, because they don't know what they're missing. And if you guys don't know that, I mean, you should be so fired up about it that you don't sleep at least one night, or you don't understand. I mean, and I know you're like, a lot of you are laughing, but I'm serious, because like when I shared with this second lady, so I did that appointment at 9 p.m. And the next day I met with another lady who works a corporate job, and we met at like noon, and then we had lunch at like 1 o'clock outside it was Wednesday, I think, or Thursday. And she was like, just to be able to eat lunch outside in the middle of the day. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the stuff that we take for granted as network marketers, I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus, that I don't work in corporate America anymore. And no offense to anybody that does, it's awesome. It's just not I couldn't do it. And so I was just like, here, I'm going to help you. Like, she had 2 little, kids. Well, actually 3, 5, 3, and 1. And so I'm just like, here's what you can do. It's just like getting excited and wanting to help people. So I'm going to share with you guys the compensation plan. And for some of you, this is going to be like, all this stuff. But for some of you, it may be new information. But I just get really excited about it, because I think if you don't understand this, you need to watch this over and over and over and over again until you can do this in your sleep. Because my daughter is 9 and she can literally draw out the comp plan. And I travel all over the country and I meet with people and they're like, yeah, I understand it. I understand it completely. I'm like, awesome. Well, then draw out for me, you share, they share. And you guys, I'm not exaggerating, but like 85% of people can't do it. And so if you can't draw out, you share, they share, and you were talking to me about a business opportunity, and I mean, think about it. Think if you went for a job interview and they told you all these amazing things about it, but then you said, how do I get paid? And they were like, well, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, you might, this is kind of how it works. And they didn't really know. Like, that's what people do with Isagenix. They know everything about the shakes. They know every ingredient in the shake, which I don't. They know every ingredient in the shake. But then people say, how do I get paid? And you have no idea what to tell them. Like, you have to paint the vision so big, so grand for them that they, like they can taste it because of what you've said and what you've shown them. And so that's really what you want to do with the comp plan, is make sure that it's just crystal clear for them. So when I was a guest, and many of you have heard me share this, but it's worth it. So hear it again. So when I was a guest, Jimmy Smith stood on stage and he said, he shared his 10% success plan. And basically he just said, how many of you know 2 people that want time freedom, financial freedom, that want to feel better, lose weight, have more energy, sleep better? How many of you know 2 people? Your job is to help those 2 people, to share with 2 people. So then you'd have 4 and help those. Then you'd have 8 and 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512. You go all the way down, 13 levels, and you have, so you go 4,096, 8,192 people. I had to go through the numbers because I haven't memorized, so I couldn't skip, or my brain wouldn't remember what it was. So 8,192 people. You guys, if all those people just order 120 BV, and if you guys are ordering Isagenix, you know that you're ordering way more than 120 BV. I mean, so we order like 1,000 BV a month. So 120 BV, 8,192 people. You've only had to tell 2. Everybody else can be people's people, of people's people, whoever. Your income is $702,000 a year. And I remember sitting in the back of that room with way more month than money, way more month than money. So if that's where you are, I get it, okay? And if that's not where you are, then your neighbor is. Like, that's just a fact. And so, get your own ego out of the way and tell this to everybody. I loved, Erica had a video on today, Facebook Live, or maybe it was yesterday, but she talked about like, people don't share with people because of their own, like, who do you think, your own arrogance. Like, you're so worried about what people think about you. You should be sharing with people because you care about them, not because of what, like when I still share with people, I don't really care what they think, about me. I tell people, like, I am telling you this because I'm trying to help you. I don't need you at this point to do Isagenix for me to have financial freedom. We have it, but I'm trying to give it to you. And so you guys, 702,000 people. And I remember thinking, like, what if somebody doesn't order? What if somebody sends something back? What if, all those things? And my mind is usually really positive, but that's what was happening that day. And he said, well, what if you failed 90% of the time and only had 10% success? You'd still make $70,000 a year for your family in residual income. And I remember sitting in the back of the room and thinking, I don't fail at 90% of anything I put my mind to. And I'm telling you guys, if you're watching this tonight, you took the time out of your schedule to get on here and to learn, you don't fail at 90% of what you put your mind to. And so I went home like ignorance on fire. And I literally, if you were within 3 feet of me, you heard about Isagenix, because I was just like, craziness. But you know what? Like, so many of you want to be so professional and have it all be perfect that you don't want to say something wrong. Like, who cares? You cannot say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. Just share. And so I just started sharing with everybody that I could. And you guys, if you will do that, yes, there's going to be people who don't order. Yes, there's going to be people who send stuff back. Yes, all that stuff's going to happen. But that's not what I focus on. I focus on the people with their hand up who want to change their life, who want something different. And that's where, my energy goes, because there are people out there like Lucas in the picture here who need a family, that need people that have the time and financial freedom to take in a 17-year-old like we were able to do. There are kids in all these orphanages around the world that have nothing, and they need you to go to work, to share, so that you have the money to help them. Like with my kids, I want to have time freedom. I want to be able to be home when they're home. My 4-year-old was not feeling great today, so I didn't have to call in and take off. He just stayed home with me, and I just worked around him, you know, and that's the beauty of this business, is the freedom that it gives you. But you can only have that if you treat it like a business. I mean, if you just treat it like a hobby, that's what it will do. It'll cost you like a hobby. But if you will treat this like a business, I mean, if this is your full-time gig, I mean, you need to have office hours. You need to have a schedule. I need to be able to look at your calendar, and I can tell you from your calendar, you know, how much money you're going to make in the next month. Because I mean, if I pull open, I have this laying here, like this is my November calendar, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's almost full already. And that's like a month out from now. I mean, we book appointments and we have launch parties. We're driving on Thursday, 7 hours away, Lisa Davis, 7 hours away to do meetings in Wisconsin for Emmy Lou. I mean, and then we're staying there. We're doing meetings Thursday and Friday and Saturday, and we're driving home Saturday. Not going to get home till like midnight because we have family pictures Sunday morning for my mom. So, you know, like you just make it work, but you still have to keep going and doing the do. And it's fun. Like, I don't know, but when I do trains on the compensation, it's really hard for me to sleep at night. I'm like, who can I talk to? Because I get so fired up if you guys can get this. Because like somewhere along the line, somebody has told us, oh no, you can only do this. And you have to think inside this box. And it makes me so crazy. I love teachers. My mom was a teacher and an educator. But I got to get up on my knees because I can barely sit when I do the comp plan. So it's like you guys, you start to think inside of this. And if you think outside of it, there's like something wrong with you. That's so false. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, like if you have an entrepreneurial spirit and brain, you're never going to fit inside the square. And that's how I always felt forever. I was like, what's wrong with me that I don't want to go to work on Monday morning? What's wrong with me that I don't only want 2 weeks off a year? What's wrong with me? Nothing was wrong with me. Like, what's wrong with you that you only want 10 days off a year? Like, it's really backward. And so, you know, it's just allowed us to do stuff we want to do, like travel through the canyon and, you know, take Justin to these football games. And I surprised him, and I got him and Caden tickets, and they're going to the Iron Bowl in a couple at the end of November. And it's like a huge game between Auburn and Alabama. And they're so excited. They're going to drive and go have this guy weekend. And it's just so awesome what we can do because the freedom that it gives us, and we don't have to think about it. And so, you know, that's what I want you guys to understand. And our company has set it up perfectly. I mean, Jim and Kathy, Jim is so brilliant on the compensation plan. You guys, people used to pay him to come in and create comp plans for them. And we have him as the designer of our own comp plan. You know, and it's our vision, our mission to create freedom, both physically and financially. So if you're only sharing with people about the products, you're not really fulfilling the vision of the company. It's to share both and let people make their own decision. We share and educate, and they decide. And that's what you have to start doing, because so many people are not doing that because we're worried about what's the other person going to think. That's not our problem. Our problem is just, our job is to share. And people always ask, who do you share with? Everybody, everybody. I mean, I share with people who, you know, one of the ladies that I messaged today, she shares her fitness journey on Facebook. And so I just messaged her and said, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You know, you're so inspirational to me. My husband and I are partners with an incredible company, and I really feel like it could benefit your workouts and everything that you're about. You guys, she messaged me back and said, I'm using this other product, but I'm almost out. I'd be totally open to learning about yours. And so she's going to be awesome. She's got a great personality, tons of connections that aren't in Mound City. And so, you know, you have to just talk to people. And she's been on my list, I'll be honest, like 90 days. I've been a little intimidated by her just because she's really successful at what she does. But what the heck? I mean, if you don't ask, you don't know. So just talk to people, you know, and then people who need solutions. But always keep in mind, you don't know, don't decide for people. So I did a call today with a lady, for a gentleman who wants it for the weight loss. But I started to share with him, this is how we get compensated, because I always share the compensation plan, always share it. And so when I did that, he said, well, you know, I've done sales for a living. And I don't know this man, he's from Louisiana. And so I was like, okay. And he's very successful.
Pull it into the grass a little bit more.
If you don't have your lines muted, if you could make sure and mute them, that would be awesome. And so anyway, I just started sharing with him about the comp plan. And then he started saying, well, if this works for me, I know everybody will ask. And this is what I've done for a living. And he was so excited. But you have to make sure and share with everybody, because people don't know what we have if you don't open your mouth about it. So, you know, your business, what I love about Isagenix is it's your deal. You can be a little in, a lot in, completely up to you to make that decision. So what I'm going to share with you first is just the ways that we earn income with Isagenix. And I'm going to share with you detail of every single one. So the first way is through what we call a product introduction bonus. So if you guys have been in Isagenix a while and this is like, you know all this, awesome. Go learn it enough to teach it to your teams, because I promise you they don't know it all. And so if you're brand new, then this is awesome because you'll learn a lot. And if you feel overwhelmed, just watch it again and again. But so we get product introduction bonuses based upon your new enrollment's first order. So if they start with our weight loss value pack, which is my favorite pack, there on the left, you can see you get a $100 PIB in the US. And if you are in Canada, it's a $100 PIB as well. And then in the middle, we have our premium pack, which is our awesome pack. It doesn't have the greens, doesn't have the vitamins, but it's got so many other great items in it. You can see there the PIB on that one is 50 in the US, 55 in Canada. And then we have our getting started 30-day system, and your PIB is 25 US, 30 Canadian. And so these, you guys, when I started Isagenix, we didn't even have any bonuses. We had the 6%, the cycle. That was it. So these bonuses are amazing. And now the company is so awesome that they offer us, you know, the double PIB. And so with that, how that works is when you have one enrollment during the week, like in the top example, on a Tuesday, you enroll someone with the value pack, the company pays you a $100 product introduction bonus. On the second example, you have 2 enrollments within the same week. So they double each one to 200 and you make $400. And that's why I was saying, like, if you just share 2 value packs a week, you earn more than you would working 20 hours at a part-time job. And I guarantee you, it's not going to take you 20 hours to get 2 enrollments. I mean, if you're consistent and you work diligently in the hours that you work, it's not going to take you 20 hours to enroll 2 people. So it makes sense. Okay, so this is our 6%. This is, you know, the bread and butter, the residual piece of Isagenix. So if nothing else, you want to understand this and the power behind the way we are compensated. So, you know, a lot of network marketing companies, you get paid on just who you shared with, or only to a certain level, and then it breaks off. With Isagenix, as long as you have your 100 in personal volume, your 100 BV every 30 days, then you are able to accrue the volume of everything that happens below you. So you guys, we have over 270,000 people on our team. And because we order 100 BV every 30 days, we're able to be compensated for all of that. So you need to understand that, because we've personally shared with about 750 who've said yes. It's about 5 a week on average, or five a month on average. Those 750 have shared with all those other people. So you don't know who knows who knows who knows who. So just keep sharing, because you don't know who knows who, right? And it's just who you're going to meet along the journey. So in this example here, Eileen orders her products and she shares with someone on her left and someone on her right, and then just back and forth, left and right. And this is how we personally teach our team to share, left and right, left and right. If you do something different with your team, that's great. This is how we do it. Jimmy Smith taught me this. He's brilliant at this business. You know, you don't know who. We have a lot of people say they're going to do a lot, don't do anything. Some people come in, don't say anything, and then they just are like the silent storm, and they just build the business. So you don't always know. So that's why I always encourage people to do left and right like this. And so what happens is, let's say that Catherine in this example, like right here, Catherine. Okay, so with Catherine, let's say that she doesn't tell anybody. She just eats the food and orders her 100 BV every month, but she does not, you know, doesn't go share. It doesn't matter, because Eileen is going to continue to share. And as she shares, Eileen's people are going to go down here. And then Eileen's going to put a person over here. Right? And then Eileen's going to put her next person here. And so even though Catherine hasn't told anybody yet, because she's ordering this 100 BV, all this stuff is accruing for her. So if we could pull up Catherine's little banks, we'd see a bank down here and we'd see a bank down here. And they would both, this one right here would have all this volume accruing in it from all these orders, even though she did not personally enroll those people. That's how it's so incredible, you guys. Like, we have people that we've enrolled 12 years ago that have over 3 million business volume in one leg of their business. So when they decide, hey, I want to start sharing, this is going to be like so quick for them to be able to start, you know, earning an income with Isagenix because of how that works. Like, my mom was right here in Catherine's spot. She had a big left leg. and she got a few people enrolled on her right, and a couple of them understood the business and it just took off. And my mom is a maxed out business center. And so you guys, you just don't know who knows who. So just continue to share is the key, because then like people down on your team are going to grow their teams left and right. And you know, whether you came in as a product user, whether you came in knowing you want to build a business, you have an awesome opportunity. Okay. Now I drew on it. Now I'm like, how do I clean up my screen? Hold on a sec. Let me erase it all. Oh yeah, good job. Okay, sorry, talking myself through it. All right, so business volume, that is everybody's BV on, you know, no matter who enrolled, no matter where the people are. Personal volume is your own orders. You have to have 100 every 30 days. That keeps you active, so it's very important. That's why auto ship, which I call auto rewards, because you are rewarded just by ordering 100 BV and eating the food for all the people below you, whether you shared with them or not. So in this example here you are. The blue circles are people you shared with. The orange circles are people that your people or someone above you has put down in the tree below you. You get paid on all of the volume. As long as you have 100 BV, and in this example, you have one on your left and one on your right, then all of that accrues. It's a binary company. Every time you have 600 BV on one leg, 300 on the other, that can flip back and forth. It doesn't have to be always 600 on the left or 300 on the right. It just depends upon where you fall and wherever the orders are coming in. For every 900, you get $54. That's 6%. That is called a cycle. You guys, I was talking to a lady who is, it's just crazy to even say it, but she's a millionaire with the company. And I said something about the 6%. And she's like, what's 6%? And I was like, well, what do you mean? And she's like, well, what is the 6% you're talking about? And I was like, 6% of 900 BV is $54. That's where you get $54. She's like, oh, I just knew every 900 we got 54 bucks. She's a millionaire with the company. So what I'm saying is there are people who do not understand the compensation plan who've made $1 million with our company. So just imagine if you guys can understand this and you can share it, you know, with posture and excitement. And people say you can share it like this because you've made that kind of money. That is so far from true. When I was new, I talked just like this, like full of confidence. Even though I didn't really know what I was talking about, I understood people don't want to join somebody who has no clue where they're going. You know, you have, from the beginning, I was like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have financial freedom. This is going to happen. And I just spoke it. And then I did the action to follow it. And that's what you guys have to make sure that you're doing, you know, that you carry that posture. And if you haven't made money yet, I said, I've only been in 3 weeks. I haven't made anything yet, but I partnered with Lenny Evans and he is teaching me how to create a 6-figure income from home. And I just said it with confidence, like it was going to happen. And it did. And that's what you need to say. I've partnered with Carrie Michaels and she is teaching me how to earn a 6-figure income from home, or whoever you're working with. That's what you need to do if you're new and you're not making money. And so, yeah. So earning a cycle. So just to recoup that, or to recap it one more time, you get paid on all the volume below you, irregardless of depth. 600 comes up the left, 300 comes up the right, 900 times 6% is $54. Every cycle worth $54. How many times can you cycle a week? As many times as there's orders coming in, you guys. Like every second that we're sitting here, orders are coming in. The day that Raspberry Shake was released, I was doing an op presentation for a lady, and I said to her, right now, I'm sitting here with you in your home in Kansas City, but people all across the country are ordering this shake, and I'm getting paid while I'm sitting here. And she was just like, what? And I'm like, yeah, isn't it so cool? Like, if you can understand how it works, you guys will go through a brick wall to get to this, because it just, there's no other company like it. There's no other compensation like it. And this is another thing that makes us unique. Most network marketing companies have an end of the month. And at the end of the month, you go to zero. Everything accrued goes to zero. The fact that we have holdover volume, and so you can see here, like the 600 comes out, the 300 comes out, and you get to keep the remainder, and then you just build back up to 600 and 300. You don't even know what a blessing this is. I was in a company where I worked my butt off, and you know, every month we started with zero. And I always said my birthday was on the 28th of February. I didn't have a birthday for 5 years because I worked till midnight on my birthday. And then on the first of the month, we started over again. And so Isagenix is so generous and so different than that. So, you know, don't forget that. So here, I just love showing this. I'm very visual. So like I put this up in my office everywhere when I was new. where the cycles were and knowing where I had to get to, and then I would cross it off once we get there. And then I would aim for the next one and cross it off when we get there. And so you just kind of pick where you need to be. And I would put this up in your office, and I would just, you know, mark through it. And yeah, you just want to have them everywhere. Like if I could pull my camera off my computer, I have 1, 2, 3 that I can see, huge Post-it note stickers with our goals on the wall. We have one of our people who's going for executive up on this wall. Over here we have another goal chart with Disney. I mean, we just put the visuals up so that you can see them all the time. So this is my favorite slide because I'm a numbers junkie, and this is so powerful to me. So when people say to me like, I'm Hilari, but I only cycle 3 times a week. Okay, I want you to follow the 3. Get my little drawer out again. We're gonna follow the 3 all the way across here. I didn't mean to write on top of it, but you can still see it. Okay, so if you're cycling 3 times a week, that means that your annual income is $8,455. That's residual. That's your $54 over and over and over again, okay? So I might have told Lisa about the shake in January, and Lisa orders the shake every single month the whole year. I didn't go talk to her every single month about ordering her products. I might have said like, ooh, raspberry came out, and she went out and ordered raspberry. I got paid for that, $54 every time, you know, the orders come in. So that's $8,400 a year. You guys, that's like interest on a checking or savings, excuse me, on a savings account. You'd have to have $281,000 in your bank account, getting you 3% interest to make that same amount of money. Now, first of all, no bank is paying 3% interest right now. And I just ask you, what's going to be easier for you? You know, is it going to be easier for you, Carol, to save $281,000 and put in your savings account? Or is it going to be easier for you to cycle 3 times a week? I can tell you which was easier for me when I was new, you know, getting to the 3 cycles. And if you can get to the 3, you can get to 6. If you can get to 6, you can get to 9. You can get to 9, you can get to 18. And it's just, you just have to keep being consistent. And that is the one thing that I'll tell you in 12 years that we are really good at being consistent. You know, it may not be ever a rocket ship, but for every year, for 12 straight years, our income has grown by over 6 figures a year because it's consistently doing the do. And people look at the daily grind and they're like, I don't want to do that. But you can't have this over here if you don't do this over here. And that's what gives you the freedom. And so it's so beyond worth it to do that. And so I just love this chart. And I just think it's so powerful if you can really, really understand what it has to offer for people. Let me stop there we go. Okay, so to the next slide. So now I'm going to show you basically some of our different pay structures. So we get paid every day, or excuse me, it calculates daily. We get paid every week. It's always a week in arrears. You can check your back office. You can look at your commissions report if you want to see all that stuff. So these now are the rank advancement bonuses. You get paid bonuses every time you rank advance, and you rank advance by helping your people. And this is, I think, the biggest piece that is missed in our compensation plan. Like, you can be a sponsor monster, a master recruiter. I don't really care, because you will never have financial freedom if you don't help other people. Like, I love this business because, like, when I met that mom who has those 3 boys, like, I am on a mission to help her have freedom. And because I'm going to help her, it's going to give our family more freedom, you know? And so if you focus on people and helping people reach their goals, it's fun. And that's where you really are going to unlock the key to, like, the Residual and Isagenix is becoming an executive. And so the first step of that is you share. So you simply sharing with 2 people. So like my mom on the left, my husband on the right. When I shared with 2 people, I become a consultant and I get a $50 rank advancement bonus from Isagenix. So that's awesome. But they share is the magic. So you share with 2 people, then the key is they share. So I help my mom to share with 2 people. I help my husband to share with people. I just don't expect them to go find 2 people. Like, I say to people, okay, mom, now you've ordered, I know you're going to have amazing results. Who are 2 people you love that need these products? And then I help her think of 2 people, and I help her contact those 2 people, and I help her talk to those 2 people, and I help her load the orders in for those 2 people. I help her so she understands how to do this. Because you guys, if you're sharing with people and you're just hoping, oh my gosh, I hope they have results, I hope they share with people, that's great. But that's not how you build a business. When you open a store, you don't hope people show up. You don't hope somebody tells somebody. You have a plan. And that's what you need to do with this. You need to have a plan. And so, you know, your goal is 10 people with 2 people. That's executive. So your job is to help the 10 share with 2. You're just looking for 10 people who are so excited about our food, who know 2 people who eat. I mean, I believe if I said to you, here's $100,000, find me 30 people who eat food, all of you would do it. That's all that is. Becoming an executive is 30 people who eat food, who are going to have a better breakfast. It's not, we make it so difficult. It's not difficult. Don't stop looking for 30 people who want to build a legacy with you. Look for 30 people who can get rid of their ego and eat a shake. I mean, that's where the confusion comes in, I think. Like, don't make it difficult. So you share with 2, they share with 2. Every time one of your people shares with 2 people, you earn $100. It's called a consultant development bonus. So when my mom shared with 2, I got $100. When my husband shared with 2, I got $100. So that's $200 plus the 50 for becoming a consultant is $250. Plus I got the PIBs, you can see here, from them ordering their initial product. And if you do that in 60 days, you guys, the company is going to give you an additional $250. So now you've made $900. You guys, my first day I shared with my mom and my husband because I didn't want to do this alone. And I always tell people it's way better to have accountability. It's way more fun to do it with people you care about. So if you help your people to find their 2 people on their day of enrollment, you're going to be building consultants left and right. And that's going to be building your team as well. So, you know, I always share this with people at the time of enrollment. You know, if I'm enrolling someone, I share with them the product and I share with them, you share, they share at every single appointment so that they know what's possible. Guys, okay, so the next level is director. That's just simply you share, they share 3 times. So I've helped 6 people eat a better breakfast, and those 6 people have helped 2 people to eat a better breakfast. If people are married, there's their 1. They need to find 1 more person. So I would say to Carrie, okay, we're going to enroll Chris, who's 1 more person. Oh, Lori, she's your friend. Awesome. Carrie's a consultant. Okay. And then teach Carrie. Now you help your 2 people to get 2 people. Like, it's just a process of simple duplication. Everybody shares with 2 people. And that's, I mean, 12 years ago, Jimmy Smith sat with me. He said, everybody you enroll gets 2 people in the first 48 hours. I was like, check. And he's like, okay. And that's all we've done. Like, there is no secret. It's just don't enroll people and then don't show them what to do. Like, your job is a tour guide. Your job is to lock arms, enroll them, and help them to share with 2 people. That's what your job is. And you just keep doing that over and over. And that's what you'll do forever. So if that doesn't excite you, this may not be for you. That's how simple it is. You just have to keep doing it and keep doing it. And you can see your bonuses are over $1,600 from telling people who share with 2. And you just keep doing that process. You guys, and as a director, the company just keeps giving you more money. It's crazy. When I was new, we didn't have any of these bonuses. So it always floors me that people don't get excited about this because it's $75,000 and you can earn your share of it by becoming a director and playing in that director pool. So do that, but quickly move right through it and move to executive. Executive is when you share with 5 on your left and 5 on your right, and they have all shared with 2 people. You guys, like, I promise you, this is not as difficult as you make it in your head. Like, like I said to you, if I said, here's $100,000, I want you to give me a list of 100 people that you have not shared Isagenix with. I've been doing this 12 years. I could still give you 100 people. There's people for some reason that I just haven't shared, but still, that's why I'm still every day contacting people. And then I take those people and I say to you, okay, I want you to find the 10. You have the most influence with the 10 that would just have an appointment with you. And if you call them, don't hide behind your screen and use social media and text people. Like, pick up your telephone. It still works. If you dial the numbers, people still answer. And they answer, and then you talk to them and ask them. You guys, people will say no so much easier through a Facebook message or through a text because there's no verbal communication. And so when you talk to somebody and you just say, oh my gosh, I'd love to share with you. Do you just have 30 minutes? Would you be open to me just sharing with you for 30 minutes? I really feel like this could improve, your health or your PR and your running or whatever it is for them. Give you money for Christmas. They're going to give you 30 minutes. Okay. And so just use the phone and do that. And then get the appointments. And it's 10 people who eat a better breakfast. 10 people who eat a better breakfast. And yes, there may be some with their hands up who see the opportunity. But if people have results on the product, they will share. They'll share and you can help them to share. So 10 people with 2 people. You can see there as an executive, your bonus is $1,000. If you do that in your first 180 days, I think that's way too long. I think the company should shorten it. And so, because what I see is that people hit executive in a matter of like 2 weeks. You know, like when people decide I'm going to do it, they just do it. And so you might have been in right now for 7 years and you've never hit executive. Do not compare yourself to the person next door. Decide today's my day. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go for it, and then go for it. But don't compare yourself, because you always come up short, and it's no fun. So just do your deal, and go get it done. Just make a decision to get it done. And right now, you guys, is the perfect time. With the company offering the promotion that they are, you need to have 15 enrollments between September 15th and December 31st, 2018. You need to do it, because I'm telling you at New Year's kickoff, if you don't, you're going to kick yourself in the butt when you hear the advantage it's going to give you in the promotion that they're going to launch. Just trust me and get the 15 people. Okay, so as an executive, you also get to be in the executive leadership pools. So the executive leadership pools, you guys are awesome. $125,000, 4 different levels. The company is giving so much money to people who are out there building and growing their teams. And what I can tell you going into November and December is everybody goes on vacation. Everybody checks out. And if you will work now, and you will work in November, and you will work in December, I'm telling you, your bonuses in the pools could be, I can't promise, but will be big. They'll be big, because there's not as many people that are going to have shares of the pool, because that's how it works this time of year. So like, that's why we have events booked. Like I said, I mean, we just got back from an event. We're going to Wisconsin. We have stuff booked. Like I'm going to Iowa and doing events. If I pulled up my October calendar and my November calendar, I mean, I have something almost every week, you know, that's not here. That's like a minimum of a 2-hour drive, 4-hour drive. You know, the one tomorrow is 7 hours, or we go on Thursday. Why are we still doing that? Because number one, there's people that need our help, but I am also a smart businesswoman. I know that if I work now, I am going to get compensated big in November and December. Okay. So have it be your best month. Make a decision right now. Like, we're going to have huge November, December. My family's going to have a Christmas. It's all going to be done in cash. Decide that right now. You know, like, we're not going to have any debt this year, and decide that, and then make it happen. You just have to go to work, you guys. And activity is the key. Like, if you just go to work, it'll fix your mind. Like, what I mean is, like, when people call me and they're in the dumps, or they're negative, or they're not where the business doesn't want, I say, when was the last time you had an enrollment, a personal enrollment? And it's usually over a month. And I'm like, that's why you feel like that. If you just go into activity will get you an enrollment, which will get you excited, which will get you back on track. And so just go back to doing personal work. If you feel like you're stuck, you know, don't just rely on your team to do it. Do personal work as well. And you guys, the bonuses are massive once you hit executive. I mean, as a 1-star, you know, you're able to make the $1,000 bonus. As a 2-star, which is cycling 20 times a week, you're able to make the $2,000 bonus. And as a 3-star, the $3,000 bonus. And so if you add up just the rank advancement bonuses the company's offered you from consultant through 3-star, it's over $10,550. So when I'm sitting with someone, especially someone with a significant income, that I'm talking to about the products, and I always share the opportunity, I say, you know, and you have the opportunity to make $10,550 in bonuses just from developing 10 people, just getting 10 people to eat our food, who share with 2 people to eat the food. And they're like, what? And I'm like, I know, isn't it crazy? I mean, I want you to think about it. If Whole Foods said to you, or, you know, Trader Joe's, or wherever you buy your groceries, oh my gosh, if you can get 30 of your friends to come shop here, we're going to give you $10,550. What would you do? You get the people there freaking tomorrow, you guys. Like, you just have to treat this like a business. I get so fired up because I want you guys to get it. Okay. Rank advancement. I think at New Year's kickoff, they're going to have to give me a sedative when I train this on stage. Because I'm so excited. I want you guys to get it. So rank advancement bonuses, just to recap, you can make $2,050. Your cycle bonus, $6,500. Your consultant development, $2,000. So $10,550 just in bonuses. So print the chart. There's an updated one that I need to get on here, but it gives you the idea. Go to Isagenix Business, get in the PDFs, and print the map to Crystal Executive. Have this everywhere. When I was going for this goal, I had this thing, literally like 20 of these all over our house. Justin was so annoyed. But I had to have it up, and it was all penciled, and when people would enroll, I'd highlight them. And if they didn't do it, I'd erase them, and I'd fill in somebody else's name, and I went for it. You know, and my goal was to finish this in 4 weeks. It took us 5, but it was just like, I was ignorance on fire, you guys. I mean, I did not even know what I was talking about. And back then we were like, the mitochondria of the cells is 300 times greater. We said all this crap that nobody cared about. But I thought I had to know that stuff. That's what I'm telling you, you don't have to know that. Like, just share with people. Say, like, what are you missing? Are you missing time? Are you missing health? Are you missing finances? Where's the gap? And teach them to close the gap, and they will do it. You guys, close the gap for people. That's all we're doing. We're just filling that void. We're giving a solution. And as an executive, you get 10% match. So anybody that I personally enrolled, I get 10% match on their cycles every week. So like, I want you to get this. I know my mom, she cycles 250 times a week. So I get 10%. So I get 25 cycles a week at $54. Okay. So that's a lot of money. That's over $70,000 a year just because I enroll my mom. We have team members on our team that we've personally enrolled that make $300,000 a year, $400,000 a year. We get 10% of that. And when people are new, they're always like, "Oh, Hilary, it's not that big of a deal. Like my team members made $100, I made $10. I don't care if I stay paid as." And I just like want to slap you. Like, I'm being real serious. Like, number one, what? Like, who says that? Like, you expect your team members to be executives, but you're not? Like, you have to lead from the front. Like, you have to do it whether your team does it or not. You have to do it so that they can see you're still working. I mean, that's why we earn Disney. That's why we're going to get the 15 people, because I want everybody to see, okay, we're still working. If we're still working after this song, you can do it. And so do. Like, the 10% bonus is so amazing. You guys, you got to stay paid as. And guess what? If you are one of those people who say, well, my people are only making $100, I only make $10. Guess what? If you pour into them and you love it on them and you help them grow, they're going to grow from $100 to $1,000 to $10,000, and you're going to get 10% of that. So keep working with your people. You get to participate in the leadership pools, which we talked about. Top Achievers is amazing. Last year was Maui. This year coming up is the Bahamas. I mean, you want to be at Top Achievers every year. Once you go once and then you miss, it's like, oh my gosh. Just get there and stay there. I can't imagine not going. And the trip, the promotion the company is offering in January will be amazing. Just super amazing. Get your 15 people. Get your 15 people. I promise you'll want to do that. Okay. And then lastly, you just have to have a vision, you guys. You have to know where you're going. Like, up on our wall right here, it says 2019 goal. I already have it up on the wall of what our goal is, of how many executives we're going to build personally, how many executives we want on both of our different re-entries, what our business center is going to look like. It's all up. Like, I could turn my camera and show you. And I have names on the wall of people that I know are coming into our business in 2019, even though they don't know it yet. Like, you have to have the vision of where you're going for other people to get on with you. People are not going to get on board with you if you don't have a clue what you're doing. And you need to be executive number one. And then from there, you just start, building executives, building managers, building directors, building executives. And that's what you do over and over and over forever. You help people have freedom. Like, I was so excited today on Facebook. I saw a post that Courtney made, and she's at home with her little baby. And she just said, she just can't believe this is her life now. She's able to leave her corporate job and she's home. And it's just so exciting. I'm just like, okay. I mean, that's so exciting that because I said yes, then Robin said yes, Joanne said yes, Carla said yes, Christy Dinner said yes, Courtney said yes. I mean, it's so amazing. You can make such a difference and you don't even know who you're going to impact yet. So, stop making it about you. Start making it about your people. And it just is so much fun. Like, you'll want to keep doing it. You'll want to keep sharing. So that's like a little on the comp plan, and you can watch it over and over again because it's recorded and it's on our Facebook page or on our website. But if you guys have questions, you can unmute and say where you're calling in from and ask your question, and I'll answer your question if you have any questions. Or you can just say how excited you are.
Hey, Hilary.
Yeah.
It's Lisa.
Hey, Lisa.
Hi, honey. You said to ask people, are you missing more time, money, or what was the third thing?
Time, money, or health. So like when I was new, and I still say the same thing, Lisa, like I would say to you, if I was talking to you, I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, Lisa, how important is your health? And you'd say a 10. And I'd say, well, where are you at right now?
Before Isagenix, I was at a 5.
Okay. So then I would say to you, well, Lisa, I can show you how to close that gap. And, and so like, I do that for time, I do it for finances, and I do it for health. And so like, for example, this, like a lady I met with in Kansas City, for example, her health is where she wants it. Her money is great. But I said to her on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is your time freedom? And she's like a 10. And I said, where would you say you fall? She was like a 1. I said, so if I could help you close that gap, but not jeopardize your job right now, would you be open to learning how? She
Awesome.
said, and that's the question I asked them on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is your health? Where are you at right now? Okay, if I could show you a way to close that gap, would you be open to learning how? On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is your health or is your financial freedom? And you'll find that they have a gap in one of those areas, sometimes more than one, but at least one. And that's where I focus, is where the gap is. Because if we can provide solutions to people's pain points, that's where you're going to get, the response.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Hey, girl.
Hey.
I loved your face today. That was so good.
Oh, thanks. I'm trying to use your verbiage, but so I have people who have been semi-consistently ordering 100 who I'm not great at showing people the vision yet. So how do you reach back out? When I reach back out to people, sometimes they're like, oh, I don't want to be salesy or pushy. And how do you respond to that when people kind of come back at you with that? I like the product, but I'm not salesy and whatever.
I would say that's awesome. Where do you buy your groceries?
Mm-hmm.
And then they would tell me Hy-Vee, and I'd say, awesome. So Erica, if you only had to take in you love Isagenix because you order it every month. You've ordered for 4 months. Now I see that. Mm-hmm. And so, if Hy-Vee would have had has a program where you could bring in 2 family and friends, and then your food would be free, would you do that? And they're going to say yes, because everybody says yes to that question, even people that want nothing to do with the income. And I say, okay, that's what Isagenix is offering you. Instead of spending $150 every single month, just by sharing with a couple people you love, your food can become free. So you don't have to be salesy. You don't have to be pushy. Pushy people don't think they're pushy, number one. And so if you feel like you're pushy, then you're not a pushy person. And so I just say, that's awesome. I mean, I'd rather have a teacher and a nurse than almost anybody, because they do their jobs because they go into those careers because they want to help people. It has nothing to do with sales. So, I just simply say, it has nothing to do with sales. It has to do with, I'm trying to show you a way to get your food for free. And it's just, and I don't know, I just walk right through that objection because they don't understand if they think they have to be pushy. Sharing with your people is not pushy.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. That's very helpful.
Use the grocery store analogy. I would just say, where do you buy your groceries? If they had a program where you only had to take in 2 family and friends and your food was free, would you do it? And they're going to say yes. And then just say, or do something that they love, like Lulu. Use that for an example. If Lulu had a program where you shared with 2 friends and you got your next pair of pants for free, would you do it? Heck yeah.
Yeah, that would.
500 people. So, I mean, it's simple like that. It's just making.
I know. I definitely make it more complicated, and I just word bomb it. I'm like, blah, blah.
Yeah, because we get weird about it,
Yeah.
And then then they kind of freak out because we get weird about it. And that's what Jimmy says. He's like, just talk to people direct. Today when the person I reached out to that I was a little intimidated by, I wasn't blah, blah, blah. I just went straight for the question and thought if she says yes, she'll say yes. If she says no. And like I said, she said, I'm just finishing up this other product and, I'm definitely open to hearing about it. I'm like, okay, awesome. I wasn't like, how are the kids? Because I don't, you know what I mean? It's just, and then I don't like when people then throw the punch in afterward. I'm like, just tell me why you're calling me. You know what I'm saying? Just be direct with them. And
cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? You guys are so quiet tonight. So you can all explain, you share, they share, right? Okay, if you don't know how, practice it, because I'm telling you, I did a training with Justin last year. We were in Canada and we did it, and the meeting was awesome. There were 200 people. And I said, how many of you can you share, they share? Because I did the comp training. They're all like, all of us. I'm like, awesome. Okay, can you come up? And people just started heading to the bathroom. You know what I mean? People were like, oh my God, she's going to call us. And I'm like, how many of you can really explain it? And there were 12 hands. And it was so good because some of the corporate staff was there and they were like, wow, we had no idea, you guys. So if you can't explain, you share, they share, you're not going to get people to join you because they aren't going to They can't follow you. So, you know, just learn it so that you understand it. And if you don't have to watch this video, go to our website. There's another one called, it's right on the main page. It says Hilari shares the products and how to get them paid for. And that's just simply going through the main pillars and then drawing out you share, they share for people. So you can watch that over and over again, or just use it. Just sit with your prospects and hit play and let that do the work for you. And then just get their shake order at the end. Like, just use the tools. Go ahead, Joe. It says Joe has a question.
Thank you, Hilari.
Sure.
I believe, in my experience, that people will try something also if there's a way that you can share the taste with them. So I'm sure you probably at some point share product. What is your favorite?
What's my favorite what? Product? You cut out.
I'm sorry, I got cut off by a
That's
call
okay.
coming in. What is a favorite product that you like to share with people that you believe they will get the quickest result from? Like a sample.
Okay, so first of all, like for me personally, and everybody does this different, but I am like, guess what, Joe, our company has this amazing program where you can actually try everything for 30 days and you have the option to get your money back at the end. So instead of just trying one sample where I know you're not going to really have a result, you can try it for 30 days and try everything and still get your money back. That's what I prefer to do, because I always say this is my opinion. Your first shake is your worst shake. Because I had never done protein shakes before. So when I had my first shake, I wasn't like transformed the very first shake. But I had ordered a whole month's worth, so I knew I was going to stay on it, right? So if I'm doing like a sip and sample, then we always have hydrate. We'll have the whey thins. We'll have the bars cut up. We'll make the protein balls. But I typically don't make a whole bunch of shakes and pass them around. That's just me personally. You know, if I have somebody who's on the fence, I love taking people like the bars in an e-shot. I am e-shot junkie. I probably order more e-shots than anybody in the company. And so I love giving those out. But I don't really do a ton of like samples with people because I just tell them, look, you have a whole month to try everything, and we're going to get you the best result that way, because it's a system of wellness. And then if it's not for you, at the end of the month, we can get all your money back. And I don't have people return it because I coached people through the product, but that's what I prefer to do, like that instead.
That's absolutely excellent. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? All right. Hey, guys, if you have not got your tickets to New Year's kickoff, you want to get your tickets because you're going to hear the huge announcement there. There's going to just be some awesome stuff happening at NYKO, and you want to get your team members there. I want to make sure I reminded you guys of that. Don't wait, because it is going to sell out. It sells out every single year, and then people are scrambling for tickets. Just get yours now. Katrina says she's going. That's awesome. Like, yes, you want to be at New Year's kickoff. It's going to be amazing. The company events, you guys, I mean, if you really want to treat this like a business, then you have to go. If you are a teacher or a nurse or dental hygienist, whatever your profession, right? You go to continuing education. It's part of the job. And so treat this the same way. Treat this like a business, you know, and it will pay you like one. That's why you want to be consistent with your launch parties, your in-homes. Like now they're called seasonal something. And I was just like, okay, we don't need a new name. You just need to go do it. Just go do the work. All right. Any other questions? Going once, going twice. All right. Everybody have an awesome week. We will be back on next Monday night, 7 o'clock, and we'll have some awesome training for you. We'll post about the call. Just so you know, if you are used to our 8:30 Monday night times, we are out now at 7 o'clock Monday nights. Every Monday night, 7 Central is our time for our team Zoom. So anyway, okay, everybody, have an awesome week. We'll get this posted for you.